badass weekend of boxing. And y'all can see the title, man. What we're gonna be talking about: potential opponents for Canelo, Dave Benavidez, all the 168, 175 divisions, and bantamweight division. Luis Nery. The Japanese getting revenge on the boy Nery. Luis Nery for knocking out one of their most legend fighters that Nery knocked out in Japan. So they got revenge on that, and the undercard of, of Canelo card. It was just what we expected. Boxing one with the Canelo card. Boxing one in general, since we had entertaining fighting, prize fighting. People were saying passing of the torch of Canelo to Jaime Munguia in like a passing the torch of the next Mexican fighter coming up, but no, it didn't happen. It would have been alright, but that just shows Canelo at his 33 years old, still at the top of his game, and he's gonna either have to move up to get a challenge, because at 68, the only challenge I see being there is Dave Benavidez, and will he give him that fight? We want to see that. Fans want to see that. It seems that it's getting under Canelo's skin nowadays. For everybody asking for that fight. David Benavidez was at that fight. He should have went in the ring. David Benavidez should have went in the ring, but um, depending, I don't know, maybe Canelo had ruled maybe David couldn't go on there in the ring after the celebration. Who knows? But all we seen was David Benavidez right there in the crowd, front row, showing face as the Berlangas of the world, the Morels of the world. Everybody won a piece of that Cinco de Mayo money. You know what I mean? So uh, everybody's trying to be up next. Other 168 fighters who are the most likely to get a fight with Canelo and get paid by the Mexicans. So they were all out there mobbing with their entourages. But the one to decide, we already know that's the Canelo team and what benefits them more. Man, hell of a career already that Canelo has. So he's just looking for the money fights, biggest money fights, and or fights that enhance his legacy. So you know what I mean. You have to either bring a really big following, like maybe that's why they're looking into Berlanga as the next possible opponent. But that's just a fight that will get a lot of eyes in boxing, which is what we need. So, but we want to see Dave Benavidez. Will Canelo fight him next? I don't. Possibly not. Dream fight for September. So that would be dope if we would got a Dave Benavidez. Cause yeah, if you thought Munguia was going to do something to Canelo, I don't know. I just never did. I didn't see it like that. I didn't expect him to last all 12 rounds. Uh, I said Canelo was probably gonna win eighth, ninth, 10th round by knockout. Didn't. Munguia survived the fourth, and shit, he went all the way to the 12th. So that just shows you Munguia went in there prepared, and he has a chin. Even though he was knocked down, he has a chin because to last in there versus Canelo, someone that punches so precise and just goes off your goes off counters. That's a dangerous man. So Munguia actually survived all 12. Is gonna keep going with his young but somewhat, experienced, but just having based off having a lot of fights. He has like 40 plus fights already too. So and is even younger than Canelo, which is crazy. But that's Mexico fighting 4-year-old. So it's only gonna get better for Munguia if he can now to come back. Now he can go after if Benavidez doesn't get the Canelo fight. That's a fight to be made, and all the other fighters. Benavidez is currently trying to schedule to fight at light heavyweight, so he's already up there. More and more fighters are moving up that haven't been granted the chance to go after Canelo. So you have to do what you gotta do, a la Dave Benavidez. But hopefully we get Canelo to fight Benavidez because that's a fight we all want to see. I feel like David would still lose. I feel David would still lose because just like Munguia didn't have that big spotlight type of experience to win a fight versus Canelo because he was throwing, but he wasn't causing major damage. So I mean, the lights get to him. You know what I mean? It was just too much pressure. All of the above for sure because he didn't win. He didn't knock Canelo out. So Canelo got the unanimous decision. So that makes me think David. Will it be the same with David? Because it's similar. Munguia is similar to David, just that David is just rehydrates to even heavier weight than Munguia. Probably is a little taller, a couple inches taller, and he throws just as much, but with meaner intentions. So that's why I think Benavidez posed the biggest threat in boxing for Canelo. A lot of fans would say Crawford, but I don't see that. I think Crawford is too small compared to Canelo. Yeah, they are similar height wise, but nah, I don't think he can do anything with Canelo. Canelo just been up there heavier and with a counter, one of them counters, sleeps bud. So I don't think that's attractive at all. But am I down to see it? Hell yeah, I would see it. Why not? Would it sell a lot? Maybe since Crawford is considered one of the best right now too. Possibly, but yeah, they have to. Who knows if Canelo will take that? But I mean, we're here for it. A lot of people are here for it, so we're for that fight as well. But the fight I really want to see is the Dave Benavidez versus Canelo fight, because David was the only one that didn't get the fight based off all that happened with him in his camp and the ways he lost his belt, uh, doping issues, and then substance issues. So I mean, he that was just his fault. But I feel like after Canelo became undisputed, and Benavidez used to be the former WBC super middleweight champ that he didn't get a face, he should face him. So that's why I always thought I'm like, nah, like Canelo's undisputed, but he didn't face Benavidez, so he should be facing him now. He should have faced him already, but he should be trying to face him now since that's the only fighter that he hasn't faced. That was champ that he didn't hasn't beat. So I feel like that's why Canelo needs to give Benavidez his shot. Why he hasn't, I don't know. That's on them, but I feel like he should have got that Canelo fight already. And Benavidez, he's just grinding, trying to get the Canelo fight open But either way, open up other avenues to go at. Since if he can't get Canelo, he's gonna have to make up his own. So that's the good thing that they're not waiting on him. They're not waiting on Canelo. So a boxing and all the different boxers, they have to keep on going with their own careers as well. So not just waiting on one fighter. You know, something like that happens at 135, 140 with the Tanks, Ryans, and David Haney's and all that. But like I said, a lot of 168 pounders at the Canelo fight in Vegas. Edgar Berlanga, the WBA mandatory, I believe, for Canelo now. We know mandatories don't be doing nothing. Mandatories to a fighter like Canelo, Floyd, Oscar, they could probably sometimes tell you, hey, you gotta do this mandatory, but they're the superstar. They're gonna move on their own time, and they're not gonna let organization dictate the way to go about their career like Canelo done before with WBC. That one time with Triple G. So we know Canelo will do it if they try to pressure him too much. So the organizations to be collecting that Canelo money, they're not gonna pressure him in really no type of way about it, and maybe not as of now, but maybe in the future, maybe when he starts to get a little older and not generating as much, maybe, but we'll see. As of now, they're not pressuring him. Canelo's been had the titles and for quite a bit, 2 years plus. Um, don't quote me on that one because I don't know exactly how long, but the boy been champ for some years. So not really doing mandatories, fighting who he wants, saying that he picks and chooses now. Which which is true, so you can't hate on that. But sometimes the fans, you know what I'm saying, they freeze the division and it's kind of hard to get certain fights. But regardless, he's still fighting some of the best. Like we seen took on Munguia. Munguia didn't have enough. I don't think Berlanga would have enough, but since Berlanga brings in that Puerto Rican fan base, some of the celebrities in the hip hop game, in the in other type of sports where Berlanga has a lot of homies that shine light on boxing even more. Berlanga, we know Canelo's not gonna fight Morel because he don't even bring a fan base and hasn't done nothing in boxing. At least you'll say Berlanga has a fan base. And they're both gonna get paid based off the both publics. But you can't say that about Morel. You can say that about Benavidez because a lot of Mexicans be rocking with him. A lot of Mexican Americans at least. So in the states, Benavidez has that backing, but feel like Canelo don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke, but who knows? He might surprise us and go after it, but I gotta see it to believe it. That's the fight I want to see. The Bud Crawford, I don't see that fight happen unless they offer Canelo a lot of money and really push for that fight, which it seems like they are trying to make happen. So I'm with it. Uh, but then once Canelo beats him, they'll say the same. It was too small. But still, you know what I'm saying? He got to get knocked out. He got to get knocked out. Crawford, and then who's really out there to fight? Canelo's only option is to fight Benavidez, man. That's what I think he's trying to do the Mayweather pack. Too, not take too long to make it happen, but he's trying to juice it as long as he can to try to get the most money as he can. So I feel like he will get that fight cracking with Benavides, but he's gonna have to be at his time, and I don't know. It might be next year. If it's not next, hopefully it's next. Hopefully it's next, cause we're trying to see that. We're trying to see that, and but yeah, man, that's them at 68. And then the fights that between all the other fighters that Canelo's open, so now no one's gonna try to he's have his schedule open. So now a lot of fighters are gonna try to get fights done to try to see if they get picked with that Canelo lottery. So we're gonna be seeing quite a bit of that. And after Canelo says who he'll fight, um, probably probably get the other fighters already behind the scenes doing trying to do deals, trying to fight X fighter and that fighter. That's how it usually goes. So um, right now, whoever tries to get a fight with Canelo, only their teams are gonna know. Are gonna hear rumors, but regardless, in the background, they're gonna be moving. They're gonna try to make fights. So if Canelo fights Benavides, then Berlanga Morel might fight, but then it's too risky for either of them to lose and miss on that Canelo payday, so they're not gonna fight. But Caleb Plant wants to fight Berlanga, and that's a fun fight. But Berlanga don't want to fight maybe, cause Caleb Plant has everything in the game, nothing to lose. So, and Berlanga does. So it's better to wait and see what Canelo's gonna do, and then all the fighters are gonna start to move accordingly. But uh, hopefully we get a Canelo Benavides because that's the only fight that's truly like appealing out there, and only fight I really want to see because we already know Canelo what he has versus these fighters versus the Munguias Y'all seen how he did that boy, his fellow Mexican countryman, beat him up, didn't beat him up too bad. His career is gonna continue. So Munguia's gonna continue to have big fights. But now the rest of the 168 pounders looking to cash out on that Canelo ticket, which sets you up for some generations. I ain't mad at it. I would do the same if I was in boxing and in Canelo's way. You damn right. That's why every 147 through cruiserweight has a chance to secure a fight with the cash cow boxing, man. Um, but entertaining fight. Boxing won. The fans went crazy, supporting it. I'm pretty sure the pay per views went crazy as well. The gente mexicana backing their boys, and have a fun weekend. So entertainment for sure. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend, especially nice boxing weekend. The undercard, we had Barrios um, staying with the interim WBC welterweight championship versus Fabian Maidana's younger brother. Barrios needed to keep his right hand up a little bit more, but he secured that victory. And he secured that victory. Now will continue to stay champ and be elevated to the full WBC 47 welterweight division, being the champ of that division. So he plays his cards right, he'll become elevated WBC champ at the welterweight division and have even more time to get in a boxing game where there really ain't that much time. So taking advantage of his youth that he has, Mario Barrios, and been in some hard fights with Gervonta Davis and Keith Thurman, but now backing down the Azteca and getting that bread, man. Like how you gotta do it, taking advantage of it, your time in boxing, which is short, and getting that bread. And Hopefully he gets his bread and he might even become champion. So he's already the interim champion at welterweight, one of the hardest division, Mexicano. So shout out to him. And and then Japan gets revenge on Luis Neri after Noya Inoue knocks him down a couple times, and then knocks him out with two right hands in the sixth round in the Tokyo Dome in Japan. Luis Neri, even though Luis Neri went in there right, knocking Naoya Inoue down in the first round, looking crazy powerful, which is nice, but the power of Inoue just be too much because has he not he caught Nettie with some lefts that dropped him and then finished him off with the rights. So Inoue just looks crazy with his power, explosive power. Because once he just throws them short rights and lefts, he just touches them and they fall, which is crazy. I didn't think he was gonna do Luis Neri like that, but um, regardless, Luis Neri went in there not fearing the monster and trying to take him out, trying to slay him. So he had done it before, done it. He went to Japan twice, and they're still down one on Luis Neri, but they got the revenge. It gets revenge, Japan's revenge for the wins that Neri had got on Yakata or something like that. I forgot the fighter's name, but he had like 13 title defenses, and Luis Neri went out there, and he got caught with some bad substance. I believe the first fight, after the fight, and then the second fight didn't make weight. So the Japanese were really, what I'm saying, really pissed at him. Have a really dislike for him. So for Neri not giving a ish and going back to Japan and not being afraid, that in its own is, uh, what I'm saying, to respect. And he went in there to win. We, at least us Mexicans that knew of Neri's come up, we knew what Neri was about. He went in there and tried to win. He didn't. Hey, it is what it is. But for Noya Inoue, in every division that he goes north from bantamweight, he's gonna meet a Mexican. So he keep going, and then he's forever gonna be fighting Mexicans. So he could it be that a Mexican takes him out, or he will go undefeated, and he's already the best Japanese legend out there as of now since he became undisputed and doing what he's doing. He's that guy. So a lot of good fights for Inoue if he intends to move up, because he already beat Natty. He's already beaten the best at 122. So now all he has left to do is move up and test the waters at 126, where we have Brandon Figueroa, El Venado Lopez, Ray Vargas. We have there's more Mexican champs in this weight, so he's gonna have to continue to fight Mexicans, and then see if he can go in there and beat their ass too, which probably can, but we gotta see it. But Inoue is a real monster. I wanted Luis Neri to win. He couldn't go through with it, but hey, Luis Neri's a hell of a fighter. Inoue is even, he's a fucking legend, knocking these fools out in these lower divisions, which is cool to see because you only see that in the 47 and up divisions. You know what I'm saying, that have actual power. So it's pretty dope to see it at the bantam weights where they usually don't have a lot of pop. So it's nice. It's nice to see. So I mean, a lot of good fights. They were saying that they want a Tank fight versus Inoue, but I feel like that's too much. But if I don't know if Inoue could probably go up to 130 and be good, and if he has crazy power Uh, nah, but I feel Inouye's just too small. I don't think they should do that fight. I don't think Inoue, you know what I'm saying? Something easy for Tank. Tank's been saying it. Nah, don't do that. Like, he's too small. I really believe he's too small to go up to 130, 135. Even at 130, you're pushing it. So I believe like maybe Inouye's best is gonna be at 126. His ceiling maybe if he goes up, we still gotta see him go up and and do his thing in that division. So he's doing that bantamweight 122. We'll see where he goes from there. Um, but yeah, a badass weekend of boxing with the Mexican showdown. We expected that. If you know boxing, you knew Munguia wasn't gonna win, but he was gonna actually try to go in there and win. Gets knocked down, and then gets the victory. Now continues to be the top. No slippage. Everybody needs to get out of their head that he's still beating up these younger fighters, man. Older fighters, prime fighters. He's just doing it, and no one can really rock with him. And the only one I see that could be hanging in there with him and possibly beating him is Dave Benavidez. So, and the most accomplished. So that's the fight we want to see. Hopefully, Canelo grants us that fight, and he'll really have nothing to do in boxing unless he really tries to go to the light heavyweight division. But he just needs to give us that fight and just continue to do what he does, fight who he wants, and then maybe retire as one of the greatest to ever do it. First undisputed fighter in the history. You know what I'm saying? And multiple weight division champs. Come on, man. El aguacate is too strong. SOC. But, and man, that's just it. That's gonna be my live about the weekend that went down today with Inoue knocking out Luis Nery. Crazy good fighters. Canelo still at the elite level, beating up the youngins, beating up the best. You know, some of y'all favorite fighters need to take notes. But what Canelo does need to do give us that Dave Benavidez fight. So, yeah, you know you undisputed and all that, but you just need to fight Dave Benavidez and you continue to do your career however you want. But just give us that fight, and then you know what I'm saying. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk coming up 18th. That's right. You know that's a great fight coming up as well. So we're gonna be, you know, heavily tuned into that fight. So make sure to, you know what I'm saying, wait on that. We're gonna be doing videos on that for sure. You already know. But till next time. Till next time, I was it on this time, man. On Tony Wax de Mawo.